Today's spooky spot, we're having a look at the character building. Actually, it's just character. Series 1, Scooby-Doo. This is Scooby-Doo and the Phantom Racer. Yes, go ahead. You have a question. No, Socrates is not here right now. He's out on a blind date. He's been surfing his dating profile on murderofcrows.com. Yes, I know it's a title that they really should have looked into before they made it official, but murderofcrows.com, he's got a date. I don't know. She likes traveling, and I really don't think it's going to work. But that's where he is right now. In the meantime, we're going to be having a look and continuing our looks at Series 1, Scooby-Doo. This is Scooby-Doo and the Phantom Racer. Yes, you have a question? There's lots of questions apparently in this room, even though I'm the only one in this room. I don't know how that's happening, but yes, we've already had a look at Scooby-Doo. Scooby-Doo also comes available with the Phantom Racer. So he doesn't just come with the Frankenstein's monster that we've already had a look at. Side of the box, there's the castle. I wonder if that's the same castle as, was it the first episode of Scooby-Doo, Where Are You? Where that old uncle was aging rapidly, and there was that ghoulish guy that was hanging out behind the bookshelves. I love Scooby-Doo. There's the back of the package. Other characters available from Series 1 was Scooby-Doo and the Frankenstein's monster, Shaggy and the Wolfman, Velma and Dracula, Daphne and the Skeleton Man. A debatable bunch of cast of characters, at least in the monster end of it. I kind of wish that they had picked some other ones. Skeleton Man, for example, I think they could have done without. I'm trying to even think of who they would have put in place of, even like the Knight. The Knight would have been kind of cool. Or that robot guy that was at the pier. Remember that giant robot? It's not really, I guess, a giant robot, but he was like a robotic, I don't know. A read-up says Scooby-Doo chases ghosts and ghouls with the rest of the Mystery Inc., but he'd much rather keep busy with a Scooby snack. His best friend is Shaggy, and you can usually find both of them either running away from a monster or snacking on a double-decker sandwich with sardines and ice cream. I add those two ingredients to the read-up in the back of the Mystery Machine. As for the Phantom Racer, cool and cruel, the Phantom Racer wears a blue-coated jacket with a gleaming blue helmet. With the ability to make other drivers and their cars seemingly disappear, it's clear that the racer isn't playing fair, which I think his car lowers down over top of the other car, thereby making it disappear. Spot's just giving away stuff. Spot, you gave away something that's 50 years old. I'm so sorry. On the bottom, character. There's also Zoinks Points. Zoinks Points, www.zoinkspoints.com. Scooby-Doo. Spot's going to take a very terrifying break. I can't promise that Socrates will be back for the second hand of this review, but we'll take a break. When we come back, Scooby-Doo and Phantom Racer, possibly the Crow, I don't know. Stay tuned, guys. There's more heading your way. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, guys. No, Socrates is not here. I just got a text from him. They're having a dinner date. I said dinner dates don't work because you get the meal, and if it already feels like it's not going to work out, you've got 45 minutes of sitting there in empty silence looking at pictures and other things, maybe people watch. Never ends well. I said coffee date was the way to go, but hey, what do I know? I'm not on murderofcrows.com. Anyways, let's have a look at the figures themselves. We'll look at Scooby-Doo like we did last time. The Scooby-Doo in question is, in fact, a clone. Yes, there is a bigger mystery involved, perhaps the mystery of the clone of Scooby-Doo. No, it is in fact the exact same Scooby-Doo as the other Scooby-Doo that we looked at that came with the Frankenstein's monster. Nothing different between them. An opportunity perhaps missed by character. A good opportunity to give him a more scarier complexion or something different, so that if you wanted to pick them up simply for the monsters, you were at least getting a different reason to, well, have two Scooby-Doos. One should have been scarier, or a little scared, terrified Scooby-Doo, or maybe his tongue sticking out, something. Ultimately, though, we got the same figure. Paints, again, not too bad on these. I'm trying to even look at the difference. This one's like a little bit cleaner in the eyebrow area and the eyes. This one looks like it has a little bit of paint residue, and actually there's just a little bit of paint slip up right there. Other than that, I guess maybe this one might be the better of the two than this one, even though they are, of course, the exact same. Posability on Scooby-Doo is the same as the other one. His head rotates all the way around. Don't do this to a real dog, whatever you do. Legs rotate back and forth. He has a bend at the knee. He could give you paws. Dogs still do that. I'd say give me paw. They'd always give me a paw, and then I'd say give me 5, and they'd just kind of, eh? Dogs don't carry wallets. They used to carry fanny packs, but nobody wears fanny packs anymore. It's not socially acceptable. Back leg also rotates, and by back leg, it technically means both legs, even though I don't put down below Spot. Both legs move. I know, they do. I just kind of was generalizing by saying back leg. I did mean back legs. Little hinge on the knee, rotation on the tail. Bingo bango, that's Scooby-Doo. We'll put him right there. Let's have a look at the Phantom Racer, which I don't remember too much about that episode. It's not a go-to episode, so to speak. I much more prefer the Creepy Owl episode. Oh, I love that episode. And the Ice Cream Ghosts, which comes later in the Scooby-Doo Dino-Mutt Hour. But the Phantom Racer, one of the more earlier episodes of Scooby-Doo, he comes across a little on the short and stocky side, perhaps coming across like he's got really short legs. By contrast to one of the other monsters that we had a look at, the Frankenstein's monster, though he is short, I can at least give him the argument and defend him in the sense that he's proportioned correctly, just short. Phantom Racer, on the other hand, does come across a little over-proportioned, a little longer in the arms, a little shorter on the legs. If only his legs were a little bit taller, it would also mean that he would be a lot taller than Frankenstein's monster, which isn't technically correct, but he wouldn't look as awkward. He ultimately comes across like he's got these big gorilla arms. Luckily, there is articulation, though not much. But before we do that, let's have a look at his face. Ew, that's one scary-looking face. I can't recall whether that little mark underneath his eye is quality control or if the Phantom Racer actually had that. I'm pretty sure he didn't have a little bit of paint on his visor of his helmet. So that's a little bit of QC issues. I guess being that he really only has 2 colors, he's for the most part pretty clean in the head. When you get to the arms though, my God, what's going on here? It looks like he tried to reach in and grab something from a wood chipper. His arm, his glove is scratched badly up of paint. That's not my doing, folks. Don't even blame it. Don't put the blame on this guy. It ain't me. But there's some substantial scratchage all over the glove. Yes, I said scratchage. No, it's not really a word. The other glove, not so bad. This glove, disastrous. Disastrous. A nightmare, if you will. His posability, though, his head does rotate all the way around. Arms rotate all the way around. You can do that to him. I mean, even if he's just posing underneath as the Phantom Racer, it'll teach him a lesson. A broken arm basically says to me, don't commit crime. You're going to commit crime? Don't commit crime. He does have a bend in the elbow, forward and back motion on the legs, bend at the knee, and nothing in the feet. Nothing in the feet. But there is the Phantom Racer. Not as good as Frankenstein, but I guess if you want to be collecting all the ghosts, because it's early Scooby-Doo, it's not the later, crappier Scooby-Doo shows, but early Scooby-Doo, there's always just some guy underneath it, a mechanic, some disgruntled guy, usually a guy. That's a little sexist if you ask me. Always some guy doing something wrong because he's angry or wants something. But this guy wanted cars, apparently. This was the Phantom Racer. Not a bad-looking figure, but slightly bad QC issues, and he's a little on the weird proportions. There you go, guys. Another spooky spot, all wrapped up, ready to go up. Got to get these up before I get that invite to the castle. Oh boy, I've been postponing that. What do you wear when you go for a dinner outing to a castle? I guess I have to dress for rain. It's just more hassle than what's worth. Anyways, while Spot buys his clothes for his visit to the castle, while Socrates is out for a dinner date, which I completely am against. Plenty of Murder of Crows. What a terrible name. Today's Spooky Spot, we were having a look at the character Scooby-Doo. This was Scooby-Doo. And this was the Phantom Racer. Phantom Racer. Stay tuned, guys. Spot's going to have more spooky spots coming to you this month of Spottober. As always, thanks for watching. See you next time.